Join the Discord.
There we go. The 15 weirdest psychological disorders. Let's get into it.
Inside your skull is one of the greatest mysteries of the universe, your brain. Despite billions of dollars in research and countless hours spent investigating the phenomena of the human mind, we still know very little. What is the self? Is there a consciousness? Is there a reality outside of our brain? The list goes on. Thankfully, we rarely have to really ask ourselves about these topics, but some people have to live with these questions day in and day out. For sufferers of delusions, agnosias, obsessions, and inexplicable...
What's an agnosia? I gotta look up this word. Sorry, guys. It's like 3 times a year I ever find a word in the English language that I don't know what it means, so I gotta look this up. Inability to interpret sensations and hence recognize things, typically as a result of brain damage. Inability to interpret sensations. Okay.
desires, what it means to be oneself.
Sorry, I've just had a college level reading level since I was in the 5th grade type stuff, but I'm not gonna flex about it or brag about it.
And navigate the stable world has been entirely corrupted. Historically treated as sideshow attractions, those with severe psychological issues have always been considered as reminders of the fragility and oddity that is the human mind. However, recent shifts in discourse has viewed those afflicted with these issues with a greater level of sympathy. This video will recount 15 of the strangest psychological issues. However, I would also like to remind everyone that these are real issues suffered by real people. Although the disorders may be at times humorous, this does not excuse crude jokes about the conditions themselves.
Yes, it does. And let me tell you why. If it makes you laugh, then it's fair game. If it doesn't make you laugh, then it's my bad. But if it does, don't come at me no type of way, boy. Don't come at me no type of way. That's my justification, and you're going to have to live with it.
Helps. This video should function not as a freak show, but rather as a reminder of...
I'm definitely looking at this like a freak show.
...the power and mystery behind human psychology. This video is sponsored to me science. This makes watching and prop special.
You got it. Get your bread, gang.
Diogen 15 Derealization an annual Diogen Syndrome, named after the infamous philosopher Diogenes the Cynic, who lived like a dog in his own filth and was well known for his one-liners. This syndrome carries a darker essence, often associated with the progressive dementia found in the elderly or schizophrenia. Diogenes syndrome is characterized by an extreme level of hoarding with no apparent attachment to the features themselves. Those suffering from Diogenes syndrome will often act shamelessly, withdraw socially, and rarely attend to their hygiene. Unfortunately, these individuals rarely know of their condition and are only brought to treatment after catching pneumonia or a serious accident.
So these are the kind of people that just they just be collecting random stuff for no reason. You be like, what's this for? They be like, I don't know. I just found it. And I put it in my closet. And I just kept putting stuff in my closet. I just bought this because I was sad. And I just put it in my closet. But I'm always sad, so I always buy stuff. So I got a bunch of stuff in my closet. Next thing you know, the closet door falls down and cracks them in the head and they got a concussion. Or not a concussion, a daggone seizure, aneurysm, or some heart attack, because they were just sad all the time and kept buying stuff. They just kept doing it, and then the house couldn't take it anymore. Stuff happens.
At 14, there is conversion disorder. Those suffering display serious neurological symptoms such as blindness, paralysis, deafness, or epileptic seizures. However, upon serious medical examination, they show no signs of any physical cause to their disorder. The cause is typically attributed to serious trauma or stressors. Unfortunately, the sufferer is entirely unaware of the stressor and is usually adamant that the issue is neurological. Hence, treatment often involves an illusory rehabilitation program that would typically be used for those actually suffering from these afflictions. Unfortunately, the
Wait, so they got any triggers? They just be chilling and then boom, the world goes dark and they start seizing. That'd be horrible. I mean, that's not funny. That's not funny. That's horrible.
Would be used for those actually suffering from these
But
afflictions.
dang.
At 13, we have Jerusalem Syndrome. This is an acute psychotic state in which an individual identifies themselves as a biblical character. The most
What? That's got to be like having demons or something. That's got to be what people say, like having
state
demons
in which
or
an
something
individual
like that.
identifies themselves as a biblical character. The most common form of this syndrome is when a previously mentally stable person visits Jerusalem and soon enters into a state of religious delusion.
Wait, so this is all tied to literally going to Jerusalem? Bro, you can't tell me that's not odd. You go to Jerusalem, come back, oh, I'm God and stuff. Huh? Bro. They got either like a cult down there. I don't know what they doing down in Jerusalem. Ain't they at war? How'd you even get in there? That's strange.
However,
Very
there is
strange.
some controversy as to whether this form of the syndrome can be verified. Interestingly, Jerusalem averages 100 cases per year, and thankfully, the syndrome typically disappears after a short period of time. At 12, there is visual agnosia. Most famous in Oliver Sacks' The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat, this disorder is characterized by an inability to recognize or make sense of certain objects, despite technically seeing them. Here we see the main difference between sensing something and perceiving something. Whereas those with visual agnosia can see the object, they are unable to interpret the object. In an extreme example, Sacks recounts the case of a man who quite literally identified his wife as a floating hat. In 11th place, we have depersonalization and derealization. Most of us have likely learned to detach from our environment or sense of self during periods of stress. However, this disorder is far more constant and manifests as feeling as if one is not attached to themselves or the environment around them. Sufferers may feel like they are not real or that nothing is real. Objects may appear colorless or flat. They may question their own existence. At 10th, we have Truman Disorder. If you haven't seen
Bro, I might have that, or used to have that. It was before I watched the Truman Show, right? I used to legitimately think I was in like a TV show, bro. But I didn't think it was like the Truman Show. Because like, if you've ever watched the Truman Show, right? It's about this guy named Truman. And he literally just lives like this normal life. And imagine if you tuned into a channel and it was just like this random dude living his life. It could be boring. It could be exciting. It's literally just taping all 24 hours of this dude's life on this one channel. 24/7, 365. For his entire life. And then one day, one of the camera lights come down from the sky. And then it starts unraveling and things get more sloppier and sloppier until eventually he figures out that he's in a TV show and then he escapes the set. I used to think it was like that, but not exactly. Like when I was in like second grade, right? I was playing outside. I had like this weird thing where I would look behind me and it doesn't matter where it would be. It would be like a corner, right? And I could have swore that someone ducked behind the corner right as I was turning around. And they were like watching and recording me or something. And I would look in the mirror and be like, this got to be like one big camera, right? And I would just be bugging. I'd be tweaking. I'd be like, what? Like, they got to be recorded. And then I would try to do sneaky stuff, and then I just start getting caught. I was like, nah, they must be checking the security cameras. And my mom and dad would never let me in their room. So I was like, yo, they must be like, that must be like the monitor in there. They must have the computer in there that controls all the cameras. They must be like watching me and stuff. So then I start like, when I'm taking a shower, I would like start putting my hands over my no-no square, making sure no one could see. I start like getting dressed like out of the way of the mirror so that, people, the big camera couldn't see, bruh. When I'm in my room, I'd always like check and close like my closet, close my door. Like I just be doing weird stuff, bro. And then one day I come in from playing and there's like just a giant, like, I don't know what it was. It was like a giant wooden hammer or something. I don't know what it was, bro. It was just in my room chilling. It looked like, I don't know what bro. It was weird. It was strange. It was like one of those like bedpost. I don't know. But just say, I used to have the Truman Disorder, bro. I definitely used to have that. Cause I could swear up and down that I used to think that. I could swear up and down on that, bro.
Truman Show, it's about Truman, a man who's living a perfectly normal life, except one thing. His entire life is a TV show, and everyone he knows, including his wife and best friend, are all paid actors who are in on it. Everyone knows except him. Strangely, some who have watched the film began to grow paranoid that their own lives are being watched by millions. Psychiatrists argue that the disorder is an attempt for the patient to explain why the world may suddenly change in an inexplicable way. This disorder may simply be a variant of schizophrenia. At 9th,
I am not schizophrenic. Don't go telling anybody that. I regret telling. Okay, don't go telling anybody I'm schizophrenic. I'm not schizophrenic. I'm completely fine. I'm mentally sound, and just know that people with schizophrenia would never say they don't have schizophrenia. So yeah, I don't go telling anybody that. Don't ever say that I don't have schizophrenia. Okay, I'm completely fine. That was a small phase in my past that I've moved on since. That was like when I was in like the 2nd grade. Come on now.
There is apotemnophilia, the desire to mutilate parts of the body. Displaying similar symptoms to OCD, the disorder is characterized by an obsession to remove a limb. Although the desire may stem from some sort of sexual origins, some cases reveal that the obsession may also be wrapped up in a sense of identity. In 8th place, we have walking corpse syndrome, also known as Cotard's syndrome. The symptoms can include severe social withdrawal, a refusal to eat, and hearing voices from the dead telling them that they have died. In severe...
You're haunted. You're about to be possessed. They're testing your brain, trying to wear it down, so that they can get in, suck some, and then take over your body and just, live as you.
For instances, individuals will ask to be taken to the morgue. The causes typically involved more severe underlying medical issues. In 7th place, we have Alice in Wonderland syndrome. Somewhat similar to derealization disorder, the patient feels as if they are in a dreamlike state. They experience an altered perception of their own body image, time, and space itself. They may hallucinate and experience an altered sense of speed when moving. The syndrome is named after the psychedelic Lewis Carroll book. At 6th, we have dissociative identity disorder.
DID.
Historically termed multiple personality disorder, DID is characterized by the presence of 2 or more distinct identities. There is typically a host identity, which is the identity most frequently encountered and carries the person's legal name, and the alter identity. Interestingly, the identities can be aware of each other or be entirely unaware. The cause is thought to be due to childhood trauma, but a more recent sociocognitive theory suggests that clinicians' inadvertent suggestibility has caused DID. In fifth place, we have Boanthropy, the belief that one is a cow or ox. The sufferer will tip.
Oh, wow. This has got to be a joke. If you are genuinely believe this picture right here, this might not be a joke. This is crazy. But these two, this is definitely a joke. No one who genuinely believes they're a cow goes out and gets a cow suit. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Typically
This is
act out being a cow by munching on grass and roaming around in
yeah,
the field.
this is crazy. This is
Interestingly,
wild.
this disorder appears to come up in the Bible, in which a boastful king goes insane and lives like a cow for 7 years. What could
He survived 7 years while acting like a cow. Boy, his booty stank. Oh my gosh. 7 years living like a cow. And the other cows are just like chilling, like, oh, there he goes again, eating up all the food. Like,
for 7 years?
wild, bro.
What could be stranger than thinking you're a cow? In fourth place, we have clinical lycanthropy, in which the sufferer believes themselves to be a werewolf. Symptoms can include the pairing of
I'm not going to comment on this one.
somatosensory aberrations, such as believing oneself to be growing hair, and strange thoughts, such as the belief that one is about to transform into a werewolf. At third place, we have Cross Delusion.
Ooh,
Typically, the
I've never heard
patient
of this.
becomes convinced that a family member or somebody close has been replaced by an imposter.
Yeah, this one is crazy, bro. Imagine if you caught Capgrass right after watching like Mandela Catalog. Bro, that would be crazy. My Mandela Catalog part volume 1, I think, reaction came out today. The next like 3 parts are already up edited and scheduled for upload, so don't worry. Those are coming out. Hold on. Let me see when they're coming out. My stuff getting all like slow? What's going on? Okay. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Yeah, Mandela Catalog Volume 2 is coming out on the 22nd, and 3 is coming out on the 24th. And I already recorded the 4th one. I just gotta edit it. So don't worry, y'all gonna know all about that, bruh. Go check it out. All right, back to the video.
Foster. This leads to extreme distress, and the patient may actually act out violently against their own family.
Yeah.
It is thought to be caused by a miscommunication between the visual cortex, which identifies people, and the striate, which attaches an emotional response to identification. At second place, there is the phenomenon of phantom pregnancies. The patient, who is often...
Bro, imagine if your girlfriend, right? She was just chilling, and then she starts having contractions. You're like, nah, we use protection. Nah, you take a test, it comes up negative. You're like, so what's going on with you? And she's just like tweaking. She's just tweaking for no reason. Nah, gang.
obsessively terrified of becoming pregnant, will suddenly experience an end to their periods, cravings, cramps, and may even have their belly grow. Queen Mary Tudor is thought to be an historical example of this disorder. Finally, in first place, there is Cororo Syndrome, largely present in Asian societies and
Wait, so you're telling me the cow one was less crazy than thinking you're pregnant? Okay.
onset in epidemics. Cororo syndrome is characterized by an obsessive fear that one's genitals are shrinking or retracting within the body, and that the end of this process will lead to death. Mass hysteria of genital shrinkage.
That sounds like the paranoia of someone who has a small schmeat. Couldn't be me.
Has also been reported in Africa and Europe. Sufferers may use a clamping device to relieve themselves of their anxiety, although this
What?
will likely result in hospitalization.
Yeah,
Thank
what
you
you
for
doing,
watching.
gang? It's like I said, they were using clamping devices. What?
Join the Discord.